No doors,
Okay, so we got
no exit signs, no emergency lighting. Well, or regular lighting.
Where's this all turn on?
This is supposed to be 24/7. And look down this hallway. We've lost our emergency lighting. We've only got our other.
No, this is not emergency, is it?
I think it is, yeah. I think it is.
Okay guys, I'll do a little voiceover here. So where we are at is we've just showed up to site for this call saying that the fire door mags aren't holding. So the first thing to look into is why are these doors not holding, which usually we'd start looking into the power for specifically these door mags, possibly a relay that's failed, something that has lost connection, maybe in this fire alarm booster panel where I believe they might be a relay that controls them, can't exactly remember. I don't know because we never got to that point, because as soon as we walked into the building, it was pretty obvious that most likely there's more to this story than just the fire doors, as we have lost all of our emergency lighting. And by emergency lighting, I don't mean battery backup. This building is built with a emergency 600 volt generator where there's transformers that take it down to 208 that feeds specific emergency panels, and off of those emergency panels, lighting and exit signs are powered. These are AC only exit signs because they're powered off this generator. So that's a pretty big red flag right there, that all of the exit signs and emergency lighting is gone, which tells us that these door holders, chances are they're also on an emergency power source like an emergency panel, and that is why they are not working. Now, the way that the lights are set up in this school, in the corridors, is about every other light is an emergency light. About 50% of your lighting is emergency lighting, which will stay on 24/7, and then the other half of the lighting is controlled off of a timer, or in some spaces, a occupancy sensor. So at this point, it's early in the morning, the lights should be on emergency power, but they're not. So the first thing we do is go to our main electrical room, which is where all of the emergency panels are located. There are a few 208 volt emergency panels as well as some 600 volt emergency panels. Now, we know this is going to be a 208 emergency panel because it's a 120 volt circuit we're working on, so that's what we do. And we check for all three phases present, metering between each phase to the other phase, and then also each phase to ground, and there was no single phasing issue. All three phases were present. So now we usually start looking further into the circuit, which in this case is just this lighting control panel beside the panel, which is switching the lights on and off. And you know this is an emergency lighting control panel, not only because of the Lamcoid label on it, but also because we have these orange modules in it, which for some emergency lights, they also still need to be turned off. Let's say your gym lighting and shop lighting, you still want to be able to turn the lights off. But should the power go out, the lights need to turn on. So that's what those orange modules do, is it will override any commands from the lighting control system of if the lights are shut off, and automatically turn on those specific relays that are doing your emergency lights. But that's beside the point, because we've got door holders out as well as exit signs, which should never be turned off. So it's obviously not an issue with a stuck relay or a relay not getting its pulse to switch over. So we know that's not the issue.
So we got a call saying that just the door mags weren't holding, the fire door mags, but we showed up to site and we've got no lighting, at least in the one hallway of the addition. Stairwells are fine, and no exit signs. Basically all things that should be powered off an emergency panel, but their generator power, are not on. So we just checked another emergency panel in the original electrical room for make sure all three phases were there, which they were. So we originally came here to look into possibly a failed relay or why these fire door magnets aren't holding, but I think it's more to it than just that, because we've lost all of our emergency lighting and exit signs as well. So I'm now in this mechanical room that services a lot of the addition here. There's a little bit of electrical distribution in here too, as well as the fire alarm booster. This is the water-to-water heat pump. So that's not creating any new cold, it's just extracting any, it's just moving the heat to a evaporator on the roof to try and get rid of any heat, create a little bit more cooling. So I was in that mechanical space to ensure there weren't any other emergency panels because I wasn't exactly sure. So I thought I'd take a look in there, and there was not. So you can see now the emergency lighting is still in fact out. We still have no door holder power, exit sign, emergency lighting, that's out. So the lights that you do see on are actually your normal lights that are controlled off the timer. So this is actually kind of the opposite of how it would look at, say, midnight when the school's timer is turned off and it's just emergency lighting on. All the lights that are out are your emergency lights that would usually be on, and the other lights are your non-emergency lighting. Because these stairwells should be all emergency power too. Yeah. Second floor, the exit signs are on, so okay. I don't think we have any emergency panels in this one.
7, first floor emergency lights. You wouldn't think that would be door holder too.
That shouldn't trip.
Somebody was working on doors yesterday and somehow trip it.
Well, why'd they have their mags on with lighting? I mean, you could, I guess, but why? Yeah, it looks like that's it. They're back on.
43.
Yeah, that says 43. What breaker is that? 47?
47.
Okay, so someone screwed up the labeling.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Could have been 43 before.
Okay, so we're gonna meter that circuit.
Is it the side that tripped? I think so.
6.3, 6.1.
49.
Oh yeah, I need to be one up. 10,
It's not bad.
2, 8. So trip breaker there, which we somehow missed the first time going through the panel. Neither of us saw it. Guess we were expecting something bigger and better, checking for all phases present, which they were. So that doesn't mean it's over though, because that breaker, that breaker tripped for a reason. So metering it, we're at 10 amps, so it didn't trip from a steady overcurrent. So there could have still been a short that took it out. So my detective coworker actually thinks he figured out why that probably tripped. I had completely forgot about it, but when we had walked into the school initially, when we first had the call that this door holder problem was there, I walked into the door and I saw a wall-mounted exit sign that was turned completely sideways, like facing, like exit sign facing the sky. So I straightened it out because the kids always do it. Like multiple times a week we get work orders for smashed exit signs and we're replacing them or trying to repair them, etc., whatever. This one was turned way upwards, even though I had put screws in it before to stop it from turning. Somehow they broke it again. Who knows? I don't even think about it anymore. Either way, it was done, broken that way. Not broken, but turned, so I turned it back. So my coworker's speculation is when a kid grabbed the sign and twisted it, it would have shorted out that circuit possibly on maybe the fixture bar and took out that whole circuit because it took out all the exit signs for the first floor of that section of the building, as well as the emergency lighting for that section of the building. So obviously the fire door mags were put on that circuit, which I'd have to actually look through a code book. I doubt you'd find any article saying you can't. It's just not exactly the best practice to put them on that same circuit. However, they did. I guess didn't want to bring a whole new circuit over there just for door mags, which is kind of understandable because there's only 2 there and then another 2 on the 3rd floor, which we're still holding, so they probably had those on a different emergency lighting circuit. But they probably did that as they wanted the doors to still be able to be held open during a power outage, so put them on generator power. So we've reset that breaker, and it's been holding fine for ever since. This is probably a week later that I'm editing this,
and no one's twisted the sign enough. We'll have to get in there and fix the sign, but that's the speculation as far as what tripped the breaker. Anyways, I don't want to make this video too long. It's already longer than it needs to be. So that's going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Any comments or questions, feel free to leave those down in the comment section down below. And if you do enjoy my channel, make sure to subscribe. Also, if you are interested, I do have an Instagram account at Pickle700 for bonus content posted before you'd see it on the YouTube channel, extras, stuff like that. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching.